Well, what's up guys, this is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and today we're going to be talking about the greenhouse, high tunnel, whichever you want to call it, raised beds, my self-wicking tubs. Gardening season is upon us, and it's the time of year where we start getting a ton of questions about this stuff. But before we get too far into it, I want to take a second to say thank you to Exmark, the makers of professional mowing equipment, for sponsoring today's video. So guys, let's get started. So we're going into our 4th season, I believe, of growing inside the high tunnel, and we got this high tunnel on a program through the NRCS. If you're not familiar with that, you can contact your local ag extension office. They will get you in contact with your local NRCS agent. There's a program where you can file for a grant and get a cost share assistance for a high tunnel. Now, they also do other things like perimeter fencing on your farm. I believe they do water wells. So there's a lot of programs out there to help small farms get started. And if you're looking to get a greenhouse or high tunnel, check that program out. It's really cool. So our high tunnel was built by Leon Sloan. He also has a YouTube channel here on YouTube, and it's Gardening with Leon. Leon's a great friend of mine. He has taught me so much about gardening over the years. Our high tunnel is 24 feet wide and 48 feet long. I'll show you how it opens up. It's got a center ridge vent in the middle, and then the back wall opens up, and it allows for great airflow all the way through the building. Because we are in Oklahoma, and in the summertime it can get really hot. We're talking 100+ temperatures in the daytime, in the middle part of the day during the heat, and that would just fry everything in there if we didn't have a way to let the heat escape. So we don't grow only inside the high tunnel, we also do an outside garden, but having this allows us to grow all throughout the year. I'll take you inside in a few minutes, show you what we're growing this winter. I mean, we've got some giant spinach, Swiss chard, kale, lots of greens. So let's open up all the vents, show you that first, and then we'll take a tour inside. So as you can see, the whole back wall will raise up, and I knew when I built this, well, let me step back for just a second. This is technically a high tunnel. I use the term greenhouse. The program is the High Tunnel Initiative through the NRCS. If it was a greenhouse, technically that would mean it would have things like fans, heaters, and all that stuff. So this is a high tunnel, which was designed for season extension, which can be used in a lot of different ways. You can plant your seeds much earlier and grow much later in the year. But the reason I chose to build this style of high tunnel, see, I almost said greenhouse again. When I had Leon Sloan price me the buildings and show me different options, I wanted one that I could raise all the way up, because I knew that I wanted to come in and build raised beds. And having the ability to raise this entire back wall up, I can tie the plastic up so that it's not in the way, allows me to bring a tractor in here with a front end loader, and I could dump my soil. That made a huge difference. But a lot of people will build these things 30 feet wide and 90 feet long, and they don't want to put raised beds and wicking tubs and all that stuff in there. Having the ability to raise that back wall up, then they can bring their tractor in, till their whole seed bed, use a row builder or whatever they want to do to lay off their rows, and then once a year the soil gets a good till with the tractor, keeps it all well maintained. Then they can lower the wall and no need to bring the tractor back in. So that's kind of why I chose to have that wall that goes up in the back. And I have a lot of different videos here on my YouTube channel showing how we built all of our raised beds, how we built our self-wicking tubs. I've got several different kinds of raised beds, but primarily I've used just pressure treated 2x12 lumber. There's kind of a little bit of controversy there. Some people say it's safe to use pressure treated, some say it's not. Most of what I read, the old style of the way they used chemicals to pressure treat the lumber was not safe. I've not had any issues. If you don't use pressure treated lumber, you could go with something like cedar or a redwood that won't rot, but that's very expensive. So I chose to go with pressure treated lumber on my raised beds because I just knew that it would hold up longer. And I'm telling you what, these greens absolutely love this stuff. So here we are, late winter, early spring in Oklahoma, and look at these cabbages. Bella, do you like cabbage? Hey, you like to eat cabbage? I sure hope not. So we're gonna have some huge cabbage way before most people even consider having cabbage plants in the ground. Then we've got some move Bella. Then we've got some Brussels sprouts here. They're just starting to get the Brussels sprouts to grow in the little valleys right there. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but we've been harvesting the greens off of these because my wife and I make green juice in the morning for breakfast. And speaking of green juice, our favorite green for that is spinach. And as you can see, we've got way more than enough spinach for us. Now I really like the raised beds because I can run drip irrigation, and then I can put my water on a timer, and then my crops get watered whether I'm home or not, because I work a full-time schedule, kids are busy with activities. I don't always get as much time in the garden as what I would like. So having drip irrigation on my raised beds allows me to keep track of when my plants are watered. I've got a digital timer that I use that can set up. I know exactly what day to water. I know exactly how many minutes I want the water to come on. So I really enjoy the raised beds for that. Now last year I tried something new based off of experiences from Leon, as we talked about earlier, gardening with Leon. Leon come up with a system of self-wicking tubs, and these are just a used molasses tub from a cattle farm. You could use half of a 55-gallon barrel, like these drums over here, cut those in half. You could use that, or trash cans, whatever container you can find that is about this size. These are about 25 gallons. And I've got, like I said, I've got videos detailing exactly how we built these. But the system, the concept here is you take these tubs, you drill one hole 5 inches up from the bottom. And as you can see, there's a landscape fabric on the inside. Then we lay 2 pieces of this corrugated pipe in the bottom. And then we put the liner in above that, and it makes a separation barrier between the water and your soil. So what happens is you fill this tube full of water. You've got that reservoir at the bottom, like I said, will hold 5 inches of water. And then those corrugated pipe in there, you stuff the soil around it, and you're able to have a self-wicking tub. So the soil stays moist, but the plants don't drown. So like these are carrot tubs, and as you can see, the soil inside here is just moist, and the roots won't drown that way because having those plastic pipe in the bottom allows a little bit of airspace. So last year was the first year I really did much growing, experimental growing in the self-wicking tubs. I really liked the results. They did a great job. As you can see, we've got some sugar snap peas, we've got spinach, carrots, just a lot of other greens that have been growing all winter long with very little maintenance right here in our high tunnel. Now, I've not used these outside of a high tunnel. I know Leon has had some experience with it, growing tomatoes and things that are not covered under plastic, and he's got some different ideas on that, but I know for certain raised beds are the way to go, even outside of the high tunnel. I know not everyone's got a greenhouse or a high tunnel, and you still want to garden. You absolutely can do a lot of this stuff without a greenhouse. I grew lots of greens through the winter before I had my high tunnel, and really all it takes, if you want to do it, you can have just a regular garden outside. Every climate's different, and I totally understand that, but you can take, say, a raised bed or one row of your garden and have some PVC pipe hoops, and then run one sheet of greenhouse plastic over that and it's called a low tunnel. Or you could use this Agribond fabric. I've got all my wife's house plants under there. That's what this big monstrous thing is. We're trying to protect those for the winter, but you could use that Agribond fabric for a low tunnel. That way plastic traps in a lot more heat and moisture. The Agribond will give you about 6 to 8 degrees of frost protection, but the moisture can go through it, so when it rains your crops still get watered. What is it, Bella? Do you need a little attention? Do you need some camera time? So as you can see, we use our high tunnel to grow greens mostly all winter long, so my wife and I can juice those healthy greens. And we do eat a lot of stuff. Houston, my youngest, absolutely loves coming out here and pulling carrots and eating them straight out of the garden. Sugar snap peas are like a delicacy. There's just something about the way that the cold temperatures in the wintertime, so when it gets below freezing and frost hits a lot of these crops, the sugars go from the roots up into the leaves and the food just tastes incredible. I'm telling you what, if you want to really truly enjoy greens, eat them in the wintertime. Any kind of root crops, beets, carrots, things like that, they're so good in the wintertime. So guys, I guess that's about gonna wrap it up for me. I've got to get in the high tunnel, get my hands dirty, and do some weeding, cleaning, and get this place in a little bit better shape. So be sure to hit the link in the description box down below or visit xmark.com/backyard, and you'll find tons of other videos from me and other backyard lifestyle creators. You'll find videos on gardening, outdoor cooking, lawn and garden, all kinds of stuff. So be sure to hit the link in the description box down below. So guys, I guess that's gonna wrap it up for me. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.